Welcome to the world united. Welcome to the world united.
Our first speaker for today is GILLES, AMADOU ACOGNY. So GILLES is a businessman and he's an amateur yogi, a very spiritual human being. And thank you so much, GILLES, for being a part of our sessions today. Your topic today basically is spiritual alignment in the 21st century business world. Spiritual alignment in the 21st century business world. Over to GILLES.
Good morning, and thank you very much, Doctor. And thank you very much also to Mataji, who invited me today. I am honored and delighted to speak to the World United Parliament. And I would like to share with you a few insights, but also I'd like to share with you a story to start with. Is that okay with all of you? I take it that you say yes. Okay, very good. I see your sign. So had you been with this young boy? His name is Amadou Barry. He was born in a country far away from some of you on the west side of Africa. And after he was born, just a few months later, his father was assigned to the United Nations in New York. First African, Francophone African to go to the United Nations in New York. And they spent a few years there. And after 3.5 years, they go to another country, which is Mauritania, and then to another country, which is Senegal, and then to another country, which is Austria. And by the time he is 8, he lives in Austria. And by the time he's 11, he speaks 5 languages. But at the age of 10, doctors found on his face buttons, literally very large pulse of buttons. So they analyze it and they wonder, what is this? This is very, very surprising. And they find out that it is what is called in French bacille de Koch, which is the sickness called leprosy. An 11-year-old boy who has leprosy. So they put him on medicine and they say to him, you're gonna have to use this medicine probably for 15 to 20 years, if not your whole life, to get a chance to get rid of leprosy. And so his parents and himself look at each other, they're very sad. The parents at night speak and say, it's so sad that our little boy is having this disease. You know, fortunately, it can be cured now, but it used to be a disease that nobody could cure. He was born in a Christian family, but 95% of his family was Muslim. And he was born with those two faiths. And so he believes in God and he prays every day. And fast forward, 1975, so that was 1971, 1975, he finds out, to cut the story short, he finds out about this possibility to raise hand, give light. At the time, he didn't know it was divine light to the spiritual body of individuals. He found that out through his mother. So he goes to a place one day and he sees bodies laying down and other people just with their hands raised on top of them. And so he does the same. 2 months later, he receives initiation for this art and starts doing it himself. And he does it on a very regular basis. He continues to take his medicine. And every 6 months, he's seen by the doctors. In July 1976, he is seen by his doctor who does blood tests. And when the results come a week later, she sees him. She doesn't really say anything. She says, you have to come back in September and do a second series of tests, which was most unusual because he only used to do tests once a year. And so he goes, does the test. And after this, the doctor is just moving her head left to right, and saying, I don't understand. I don't understand what's going on. And so he says, but what, doctor? in my entire career, and this has been, we've been using these pills for now 15 years successfully. In my entire career, I have never seen a case like this. You've been on these pills for about 5 years, 4 or 5 years, and there is no more sign of leprosy in your blood. I don't understand what happened. Unbeknownst to the doctor, he wasn't taking medicine anymore. And that had been for about 6 months prior to this particular event. But he was continuing to practice divine light. And that divine light was purifying his spiritual body, his mind, and his physical body. And as a result, he got no more trace of the disease. Took another test a year later, and there was still no more trace of the disease. So I'm telling you this story, and I will speak about Amadou Barry again, fast forward in the business world, just to say that when you put God first in your life, it has an effect on your soul, on your spirit, on your mental, intellectual capabilities, and it has an effect on your body. And miracles happen. Years forward, 2020, 2019, 2020, that person has a business that is a global business. And whilst many people were confused, were hurt, were wondering what to do with an event that was most unfortunate to the world, if you look at it this way, or that was a cleansing event to the world, the beginning of extraordinary movement like a World United, and thank you again for inviting me. This person had spiritual bliss, happiness, serenity, and his business carried on growing. Ladies and gentlemen, this person is me. My second name is Amadou, and my, bless his soul, my uncle name was Barry. I just took the metaphor for you to continue to follow this story, because stories are incredible when they are told, and that doesn't represent the person, the individual person. So the art of spiritual purification and healing is just like what you're doing. It is an organization that brings people together from whichever religion. I'm still a Christian, I still go to church. Most members of my family are Muslims. And I respect tremendously every single religion, because we are one. We are all one in God. There's nothing that's better than the other. All of these comparisons, in my humble opinion, have been put in our heads, in our minds, in our hearts by us human beings, because we are limited. We can't think as the soul of God. But whatever you do, whenever you're connected to the unicity of God, to the universe, incredible miracles, as human beings call them, happen in your life. This example and this story that I'm telling you about is just to say that I am so grateful to be here with you and to carry on through Mataji, to know and understand better what you're doing and contribute modestly to what you're doing, because as I put in God first in my life, as I practice this art of purification, spiritual purification, I've had miracles in my life all along. I've been able to work in the largest companies in the world. I've been able to have impact on literally tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of people around the world. Today, we still do this through training, and we do it with the utmost care for others, goodwill for others, and really we try to be just one among 7.5 billion people transforming this world. As you all know, when you have spiritual serenity, incredible things happen in your life. So we run a business today. My wife doesn't practice what I practice, so you have to have respect of what people do. She's just simply a Christian, a very faithful Christian, and I pray with her in her face, but I pray with Muslims in their face, and I'm happy to be here and align with all of you and with the world. Because when you do this, God never leaves you. God brings you through different challenges just to make you stronger and to make you elevate your spiritual capabilities. We fundamentally at SMBK, which is the organization that I'm talking to you about, it's Divine Light Organization, have the possibility of giving light to anyone, whatever your faith, whatever your religion, whatever your beliefs, your creed, you can receive divine light. And when you receive divine light, you purify your spirit, just like when you meditate, which takes you to elevate yourself, you purify your spirit and everything else is taken care of. And today, I believe in the 21st century, and particularly 2021, it's important to place spirituality first, because materials come and go, and we don't come with materials and we don't go with materials. So when people align this, their business really becomes blooming and very, very powerful. On this, I'm going to stop and end my speech by thanking you all